Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Diner Discussions. We are at the Dix Hills Diner. This is the first episode of 2024. I've got Trisha Devine here. She's going to talk to us about the wonderful world of insurance. We're in for a great year, I think, and great things are happening. And looking forward to everything right now. So stick with us. Trisha Devine from Brewster, Allen, and Witcher. Talk to us about insurance. What do you do?
So I'm an insurance producer. My job is to, I represent a number of different insurance companies,
Okay.
and I have the ability to basically shop out all of your insurance rates to make sure that you're in an affordable spot with your insurance while also obtaining the coverage that you need. Whether that's, in your personal insurance, with your home, your auto,
Now,
or
you
your
called
business.
yourself a producer. What is a producer versus an agent versus a broker versus?
So I work for an agency, but that we are the broker.
Okay.
So everybody at BAW, that is the brokerage,
Okay.
and then we're agents for particular insurance companies. So my specific title within the brokerage of the agency is the producer.
That
So
means
that's
you
just my
produce the
formal-
business.
Correct.
You're
So my job is it's sales and insurance.
sales, so you have to go get the accounts and you make sure the Ciccone family has the right insurance for their cars, for their home,
Yeah.
for whatever else they may need insured.
Correct.
Okay. And
So probably the most important thing too, when you're looking at, different policies, it's just to make sure that, do they have the appropriate limits for
Okay.
the replacement value on their home, when it comes to your auto.
replacement value.
Yeah.
We all know what insurance is, but there are key terms here. So I'm going to pick at them as I hear them.
Yeah.
Replacement value.
Yep.
Do you have $1 million home that's only insured for $600,000?
Yes.
Because you bought that policy 30 years ago.
Yeah.
The home has gone up in value. Have you reassessed your insurance needs?
Yep.
Is that what you do? Is that?
100%. That's probably one of, the biggest factors right now when it comes to your homeowner's insurance is if you've been with the same company for the last 20 years,
Okay.
there's most likely on the majority of homeowners policies, there's going to be an inflation guard in there. That way, it's going to automatically go up every year to keep up with inflation.
3%.
Anywhere from now a lot of them have increased just because of the last couple of years how
Okay, so-
drastically inflation has changed.
So if inflation is hit 9-10%,
Yeah.
but your policy only has a 3% bump in it, that means there's a 7% lag, basically.
There could be.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with the inception of the policy. Any insurance company is going to want to make sure that your home is insured 100% to value. That way, maybe one year it's not going to be that big of a hike with inflation, but the following year, it doubles.
Sure.
So it kind of, balances off, after a while. But, there's a lot of people that can be overinsured, where there's no benefit to being overinsured. It's better than being underinsured. But
Better than being underinsured versus overinsured. Okay, you have $1 million.
Yeah.
It covers for $1.2 million. Your home's worth $1 million. You can replace it for $1 million.
And a lot of the policies too, they'll have certain endorsements on it. So, you can have guaranteed
Yeah, what did you call it?
endorsements.
An endorsement. Okay. What's an endorsement?
So endorsement can be anything like water backup coverage. That's something that's not standard in a homeowner's policy, but you need that to be added onto the policy as an endorsement. Or you could have your service line coverage or your home systems protection. These are a lot of these kind of areas in a homeowner's insurance policy that are not covered, just standard. You need to add this $30, $40 endorsement in order to have that additional coverage.
Okay.
Why do the insurance companies do that? Well, over time they've obviously paid out a number of claims for these specific areas. So they know, okay, if you're willing to pay an extra $30, $40 onto your premium to have that additional coverage, now you're less likely to be.
And with the endorsements, if I understand it correctly, it allows you or the homeowner to actually tailor tailor the coverage to their specific needs.
Correct.
Versus one size fits all. This
Yeah.
is the policy, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you happen to have a house close to the water, on a downhill where we sometimes get flooding or something like that, or hard ground where you do get,
Yeah,
the
the
water comes
foundation
up.
of your home, if you have a pool in the backyard, a lot of people, I've seen some of these backyards now, it's not just a fire pit. Some people have an actual fireplace outside, an outdoor kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
These are the type of areas where that could be a very, costly loss if you're not covered properly, because those limits are typically just derived out of a percentage on your policy.
Fireplace and a stove in the backyard, barbecue and gas, barbecue, like all built in.
Yeah.
All beautiful.
Yeah, the through stones, the pavers, these are things that, usually pretty costly to have put into the home. Now, if you don't have the proper coverage and the proper limits, in the event that this was to be damaged or lost, it's the type of stuff you want to look at.
So when somebody adds, just say, or renovates their home to the tune of $250,000, they've increased the value, usually a lot more than what they put into
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying the insurance needs to follow, so now, God forbid something happens.
Yeah.
cover.
Yeah, and that's usually, standard in any insurance policy, that if you do any major renovations, like I send it out in every, new business that I write, I specifically say, if you do any renovations or upgrades to the home, so let the insurance company know, let your insurance agent know, that way we could, look over the policy, make sure your limits are all sufficient to the, the work that you just had completed. And there's usually, I really haven't not seen it, to be honest with you, but it does state in your policy that if you do any type of renovation to your home, that's about 5% of your replacement cost estimate, that dwelling A coverage limit. If you're doing that type of work, you have to tell the insurance company. That way, if you have a loss, they can't turn around and say, well, we didn't know about this whole extension you just put onto the home.
Okay. They still have to cover what they what you paid for. They just won't have to cover. Now you have $1 million home. They insured a $500,000 home, and they're only going to cover to what they said.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's best bit of advice for insurance for anybody? Or is homeowners like your main thing, or
So
auto?
I do.
It's property and casualty.
Yeah.
P and C is what is the acronym, but what do you want to do?
It's a combination. I would say, I do a lot of, the small to medium-sized business insurance, and, with that, you need to get your standard business owner's policy, which will give you the liability and the property coverage. Or you might only need one of those. If you have, a business at home, do you really need to have, are you having customers come into your home? Are you meeting them outside? There's a lot of different characteristics to build a business owner's policy. If you have employees, then you automatically are going to need the workers' comp insurance, along with New York State disability, the state of New York, along with the paid family leave. So these are all different areas where you can basically customize that, and based on business characteristics, you want to make sure, as morbid as it sounds, any risk that's brought to me, I'm sitting here thinking, well, what could potentially go wrong that you could go out of business? We just went through COVID. A lot of people, did not see that coming, and a lot of businesses didn't survive it. When it came down to it, there's certain endorsements that could have been put on these business owners' policies that could have, saved the business. Yeah.
Business sustained for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Versus saving the $30 a month.
Correct.
Penny wise, pound foolish.
Yeah.
As the expression goes, penny wise, pound foolish. What's your biggest bit of advice to people for insurance?
To definitely consult an agent that has access to multiple different insurance companies. That way you can, you have that advantage where you're going to see, okay, where can my particular risk fit, with the right company that's going to give me the right rate. Nobody likes to sit, when you're sitting at the restaurant, the waiter comes over, we order the same thing. Is he going to charge me more than you for the same product? No. If that was the case.
Well, at the Dixon's Diner, I'm hoping I get them.
No, I hear you. But, that's the whole thing. A lot of people think just because, if I'm able to save them money on a particular policy, did I just take away coverage? No. I'm not trying to take away coverage. I'm trying to give you exactly what you have. And it's also a thing, too, I would say, don't play poker with your insurance policy.
Don't play poker.
Show your declaration page. Show me what you have. That way we can find out, is this going to be a cost-effective switch for you to make? Or
in my experience, when you're honest with somebody, let's say somebody has a great policy,
yeah,
and you can't beat it,
yeah,
or you can't really beat it, you gain more credibility.
Yeah.
When you say that to them, that's a sales hack I've learned over the years.
Yeah.
Where you tell somebody that I can't beat that. That's a great thing you have there. They appreciate your honesty, and they you might not get the sale that moment.
Yeah.
They tend to say, you know, he or she is somebody I want to deal with or wouldn't mind dealing with in the future because of the honesty factor. You've established you're honest.
Yep.
And as you're establishing a relationship, honesty is the biggest hurdle before somebody will do business with you. And if you're honest about, you got a great policy.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at something else, or blah, 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 or, wow, you know, good job to your work. People appreciate that more than you realize.
Yeah. That, and I think too, even if it's a company that, you know, I'm not an agent for, so I don't have access to write through that particular company, I'm able to see now, you know, when my customers come to me to review their policies, well, if I can't beat your rate, then I might be able to direct you to another insurance company that happens to be offering more affordable rates for that particular risk, for that particular area. Maybe it's the car that you drive, the area you live in. There's a lot of different.
And you tend to know your competition.
Yeah.
You tend to know, and we know a few of the same people, we know a bunch of the same people, but we know a few of the same people in the same industry as you.
Yeah.
And I know, at least with one other guy, two actually, you guys have shared it, just like, give this guy a call, you know, you can do something I can't do, you write for that company, I don't, or call this person over there. And I know the three of you have all shared that kind of
yeah, even with changes within the insurance market, you know, certain carriers will stop writing in certain areas, or they'll stop writing, you know, for certain type of risks, and that's the type of thing I think, you know, specifically in the insurance industry, that it's more beneficial to, you know your colleagues that are in the business. It's not just know your competition, but we're able to basically go back and forth and go through the different issues that, you know, we all are subjected to within this industry and our clients and you know, claim scenarios, and that's definitely helpful.
Okay. Your biggest pet peeve about insurance?
Probably.
I don't ask that one much, but I want to know.
I would say it goes back to the whole game of poker. When people don't want to tell me, you know, necessarily what they're paying, but, you know, the unfortunate truth is, I think when it comes to insurance, is that a lot of people, they're not as familiar with the coverages that they already have, and this is just one of those, you know, pain points where insurance is pretty much going to be a bill you're going to be paying for the rest of your life.
Okay.
So a lot of people just, you know, they want to play poker with their policy. They don't want to tell you the amount that they're paying every month, but they want you to beat their rate. Well, I don't know what I'm beating. I don't know how you're rated, you know, with your current company. I don't know the coverages, the limits that you have, and for me to guess and then kind of give you a number.
How do you overcome that as a salesperson? See, what I would do, I've done a little bit of sales in my life, I would just ask. I would say, listen, this is what I'm trying to do. If I can beat it, I will. If I can't beat it, I will tell you. I'm going to try to cover, I'm going to try to match coverage.
Yeah.
And I can either beat it or I can't.
Yeah.
And I need to know what you're doing. You have a declaration page. Now I know what you mean. Now maybe you didn't have to establish yourself. You say, I need the declaration page. But every time I've dealt with an insurance broker or agent, they asked for my declaration page so they knew what they were looking at.
Yeah.
And they said, let me know what I'm looking at. And
I think too, there's a lot of information, like going back to the endorsements. I'll see certain endorsements on the
but I'll
policy.
say this, with other people, I do play poker.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the deco page right there.
Yeah.
I don't have I can't just be that transparent.
Yeah.
And I can't just tell them something. So what I'll do is some people I do play poker with. But other people, you know, insurance is not one of them because when the person knows more than I do, I tend to say, okay, let me, all right, here's what I know.
Yeah.
Can you beat it? You know, but I guess poker is one of the things you have to overcome as a seller. It's one of
And I think it's something that a lot of people too, they're just conditioned to, you know, say, all right, I'll give you the details on the house, just give me the number, or the details of my business, give me the number. But again, like each company is going to rate you differently, and it's important. There's a lot of times that I'll see a declaration page, and you know, I'll see something on the policy that will just trigger to me that they have an additional risk in the home.
Okay.
That you might I mean, I think a lot of people are very fearful of insurance agents. You hear the comment all the time, like, don't let your insurance company know, but in order for you to be covered, it's,
You know, it's you're playing poker.
yeah.
They're playing poker too.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard, don't tell the insurance company, or you're
Yeah.
my favorite is you're automatically covered.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that company does well. They don't
Yeah.
just cover stuff. Goals for 2024. Since you're the first interview of 2024,
Goals of
I
2024.
held you. I said, "No, Trish, she's a firecracker." So I said, we're gonna kick off the new year.
My goal for 2024, I think I would say just, coming off of everything with Fight for Charity, I think my goal is to really, whether or not I end up doing it again.
Bantamweight champion on Long Island, fight for charity.
I definitely want to stay involved. I think that's one of my favorite things that I've gotten out of networking is learning about a lot of these different, charities and organizations that are out there right here in our backyard on Long Island. So
So you like to give back. You like to be
Yeah.
a part of the community as a professional, and you did the fight for charity.
Yeah,
You enjoy it?
I did.
Did you enjoy the working out, the training?
Well, I think that's like ultimately my goal is to really stick with it this year and at least still commit to at least maybe like 1 or 2 days a week to getting in there and helping them out down at the gyms.
Okay. Do you still doing the training that you?
I did take a break during the holidays, so
Okay.
the fight was right before Thanksgiving, and just with all the excitement of the holidays, I took a step back, and but yeah, now that we're into 2024, I definitely want to take that back in gear.
I was impressed. You took the whole thing very seriously
I did.
throughout, and a lot of people, the fights in November. They join up in, April or May
Yeah.
or whenever they join, so they don't start working out until September type of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's around the corner, but you started right away. You
Yeah, I
started
called
working.
you right away. I was like,
Called
Pete,
me.
I know where you live.
Well, I enjoyed it, training with you, working out,
It was
sparring.
fun.
It was a lot of fun, and I saw by your style, I said, oh, she's serious. She's gonna
Yeah.
go in there and have a good fight, and I knew that was back in September. I
Yeah.
think you did that, and I said, she's gonna be ready. So, thank you for coming down today, and I ask everybody this: do you love what you do?
I do. I do.
That's important. I think that makes you better at your job when
Yeah.
you really love it.
Mhm.
And you asked me about networking. This is the part I love the most.
Yeah.
Get to sit with the people and learn more about their business and get to understand what they do in a whole different way. So, well, thank you for coming down. Welcome
Thank you,
aboard.
Pete.
And hey, yeah, you
Happy
are.
New Year.
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everybody out there. And Trisha, Devine, how do people get in touch with you?
Best way to reach me is my cell phone.
Okay.
So it's 516-509-6601. I answer the phone all weekend. I answer it all week. I know I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, 24/7,
I know.
365.
I know that that's something that you shouldn't say, but I have to tell you, like in claim scenarios, it's probably one of the convenient parts of it is to have access to that phone number.
And I'm speaking not only as a friend but as a client.
Yeah,
You-
have a life. You need a life.
Well, I
Separate.
just find no, it's in the, you are accessible, and and we joke, and
Yeah.
alrighty, well, hey, thank you for coming down.
Thank you, Pete.
Guys, Happy New Year, and look forward to a lot more this year, and good luck to everybody 2024, and stay safe and be healthy. Thank you.